Hello, it's Big Chuds, and this is the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube, Chuds Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Chuds and Bitcoin Live, where I am a founding analyst. For today's lesson, we're going to take a look at a selection from my second book, Trading Wisdom, 50 Lessons Every Trader Should Know. It's the book that most people are familiar with. It's my most popular book. And I have a playlist specifically for that book, Trading Wisdom, but I'm making the entire book free in this playlist, the Trading Encyclopedia playlist. Of course, all my books are available on Amazon, or you can just get them for free on my YouTube. So lesson 9 is profit taking. And how do I know when to take profit? What should my approach be? Well, here's a good quote to start out. When you're so excited about your trade that you take a screenshot to send to your buddy, that is probably when you should sell. So it's really hard to take profit, right? You know, when you're in a position and it's going the right way, our greed kicks in and we think, why would I take profit here? If it continues, I'll have even more money. But you really want to pay yourself for a good idea. That's why it's important to take some profit. The first quote here talks about mindfulness, and you're celebrating because the price has gone really far in the right direction, and you're almost surprised that it's doing so well. So maybe at this point, take a little bit of profit, right? If you don't take profit, your position can reverse really quickly, and those hard-fought gains, they'll evaporate, and you want to avoid that situation. So you can scale in and scale out, and that's a separate lesson I have from Trading Wisdom. So say your position was a $5,000 position. You could sell 1,000 of it or 500 of it, 5% or 10%, or sell more, sell 2,000, sell a certain amount, but take a little bit of profit, because every time you sell some, it makes your future decisions easier, right? Because it represents a smaller percentage of your risk assets. There's less pressure on you, right? That way. So rather than making an entire decision for the entire position, sell a little bit. And remember, it's okay to miss 5 or 10% profit or a little bit of profit. You're not going to nail the exact top and bottom, right? You don't want to be holding a risky asset without taking some profit, right? And it just depends on the market. You can have major volatility. If it's in equities, you can have a gap down, or gap up depending on what your trade is. So you want to find a way to strike a proper balance. And so you take some profit, but you still want to watch and see when the trend is weakening. Maybe you get a big gravestone doji or some scary, reversal candle in a long trend, and there's volume on it. And you think, okay, I'm going to take a little bit more profit. So you should avoid, going on a 15-minute, but make sure you have the right time frame, maybe a daily candle. So a larger time frame reversal candle, maybe take some more profit there. So follow the trade, scale in, scale out, and use that balancing act where you take profit, but you leave some position and you manage it based on what the price is doing. And if you take some profit, you're never going to go broke that way. You've paid yourself for a good idea. You've reduced your risk exposure. And if you're up big now, maybe take a little bit off the table. You can never go broke by taking profit. This is lesson 9, profit taking. This is from the Trading Wisdom book I published back in 2021. Wow, how time flies. And this is for the Trading Encyclopedia Daily Education series on my YouTube, Chuds Trading. Find me on Twitter at Big Chuds and Bitcoin Live, where I'm a founding analyst. Folks, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Big Chuds out.